So again, because I know I kind of went through this one really quick because I was running out of time, my time limit. This is the same scenario as our previous screen. Just show you real quick back here. So the only thing that is the difference with this one is, again, Medicare patients. So if Medicare patients are over here, you're going to have these G codes that you would use on a Medicare patient. Again, depending on the facility or physician's office you're working for, they would, of course, guide you on that. So let's go to our next slide. If a surgical endoscopy or therapeutic is performed, a diagnostic endoscopy is not separately reported as the surgical or that therapeutic endoscopy always includes a diagnostic endoscopic evaluation. Now, I know that sounded just really confusing, so let's go over this example. Say the patient came in, they did a colonoscopy with a snare and a polypectomy by snare, a snare polypectomy, 45385. And they also documented they did a diagnostic colonoscopy. Of course, the coder would only code the 45385, the surgical portion, as that therapeutic, or the diagnostic code is inherently included in the surgical or therapeutic procedure. So diagnostic procedures, if there's a further advanced surgical procedure, the diagnostic would not be coded separately. So just wanted to make note of that. It is important to pay attention to the detail of the op report to this section, anastomosis. It's very important to pay attention to the detail of the op report to determine where the anastomosis is. So is a surgeon joining parts of the intestine or developing and creating an artificial opening through the abdominal wall? If a surgeon removes out a diseased portion of the intestine, like they are here, say this part of the sigmoid colon, they will either join the remaining ends, thus called the anastomosis, or they will develop an artificial opening through the abdominal wall. So you can see here, if they're removing part of the sigmoid colon, they would just attach the remaining ends together, and that would be the anastomosis. And some codes do include an anastomosis, so an anastomosis would not be coded separately from the excised colon or intestinal area. Some hernia repairs. To appropriately assign a code for hernia repairs, the coder really needs to look at answering these couple questions. So what is the location of the hernia? Is it inguinal, femoral, incisional, umbilical? Is it reducible, incarcerated, or strangulated? So reducible hernias can be pushed back through the fascial defect, where incarcerated and strangulated hernias, they're trapped within the hernia sac, so they can't be pushed back. Was the hernia initial or recurrent? Is this the first time the hernia has been repaired, or is this hernia having to be fixed again? What's the patient's age? Hernia repair codes for inguinal and umbilical hernias are differentiated by the patient's age. And then the coder would ask, is it open or is it laparoscopic? Was mesh inserted? That's going to play a part in your code as well. And some of the codes, CPT codes, include mesh for hernia repairs. Some of them you have to, is an add-on code to add the mesh code. Never report, of course, a laparoscopic procedure using open approach codes. And the last slide here, I believe, is the hemorrhoid procedures. Just wanted to stick this in here, of course, to end this one. Make sure the coder would want to know the hemorrhoid type. Are they internal? Are they external? Are they both? Are they thrombosed? And then that method of treatment to make sure you're getting to the correct code to assign for the procedure. And I guess that concludes this section of the digestive section.